Hi again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. Thank you so much for joining me here today for this pretty cool, it's not cool, it's just like it's a really pretty family home. I realised the other day that I haven't actually built or done a speed build for a family home in quite some time, and so I just decided last night to build this house. Now there is a funny story to this. So if you're here for story time, then you're about to get it. So if you follow me on Twitter, you might have already seen this, and if you don't follow me on Twitter, please consider doing so, and I have linked all my socials down in the description below if you want to check any of them out. But if you do follow me on Twitter, then you will have already seen that I had planned on releasing a Scooby-Doo sort of style house on the channel, and I went to edit the footage last night, and this is why I actually built this house. I went to edit the footage last night and something's gone wrong with the footage and it was all corrupted. I tried to do a voiceover 3 separate times for the footage and it kept failing every single time, and so you got to learn when to just walk away from something, unfortunately, and I don't even know whether I'm going to be able to get that up on the channel. I'm hoping I can. The footage itself is absolutely fine, but for some reason whenever I go and do a voiceover, it just completely fails, and it's just the strangest thing because, as you can see, this one is perfectly fine. Now I have just got a new microphone. I've now got the Elgato Wave 3, so I kind of got rid of my Yeti, which I was a bit sad to do, to be honest, because I've had that microphone for like just short of 2 years, I think now. I think I got it in summer of 2019, so yeah, just short of 2 years, and it's been such a good microphone to me. But I was starting to notice like a strange echoing sound when I was recording. I don't know if anyone else had noticed this, maybe not, but when I was doing my voiceovers there was this really strange echo, and no matter what settings I changed or no matter how much I edited the voiceovers, obviously when I'm doing the speed builds, I'll stop talking about this soon, don't worry, and we'll start talking about the house. It was just producing a really strange echoing sound, so I decided to upgrade to the Elgato Wave 3. So that's what I'm using today, so I think it's going to be quite interesting to see the quality difference. But anyway, you're here for the build. You're not here to listen to me rant about microphones and failed speed builds. So yeah, as I said at the beginning, we are building this really cute, very pretty family home, and as I said at the start, I haven't done one on the channel for a while, and I love doing family houses. I think they're just like a staple, you know, and I think a lot of people who play The Sims play with families, and so I think you guys will probably get a lot of use out of this. Now, this ended up being a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom house because I could have made it 3 bedrooms. I could have maybe added another bathroom. But if you are returning to the channel, then you need to, well, you already know, if you're returning to the channel, you already know that floor plans are not my strong suit, and I do need to work on that. So I feel like I could have maybe utilized the space a little bit better, but you know, it wouldn't be one of my builds if it was a little bit weird on the inside. So you'll have to see what that looks like in, well, we end up doing the exterior of the speed build for like, I don't know how long it's on for. I'm just trying to look at the footage, like 6 minutes. Now, I can't remember like on average how long it takes me to do an exterior of a build, but this particular one I think took me a while because I was trying to work out if I even liked it. And then I started adding all these, like, you know, I started, like this for example, I started adding stuff like this in to see if I could just make it look a little bit more interesting from the outside. And then I'm looking at this now and I think that looks really cute, but for some reason I just like, no, I don't like it. It just looks not very good. It just doesn't look very good. So we ended up getting rid of that and then adding some of these like decorative roof pieces from, I think, the university expansion pack, I believe. Yeah, like, what am I doing here? So we're just going through some different options here and trying to work out, like, then we ended up using these ones. I don't know, I just think they work. I think they look really, really cute, and this house doesn't have a particular style, I don't think. I think it's just like a classic suburban family house, and on the inside it's slightly modern. So you'll see that, as I said, when we get onto the inside of the build. But it's ever so slightly modern, which I kind of like, because I think when I do family houses, I tend to steer more towards like a traditional sort of interior style. And so with this one, it was kind of refreshing to do something a little bit different, because I've been enjoying modern styles recently. Before the paranormal stuff pack was released, I was doing like modern apartments and modern houses, modern townhouses and things like that. And so I don't know, I feel like it's probably embedded in my head to do like more modern stuff rather than more traditional stuff. But then when the paranormal stuff pack came out, obviously I was doing like haunted houses and things like that, which are more traditional, like Victorian style and stuff like that. So I don't know, I'm just messing around with a lot of different styles at the moment, and it's kind of fun because I think it's nice to do different things sometimes. And I am planning on working on an apartment speed build today, which will hopefully be released tomorrow. I'm going to stop putting pressure on myself and saying that something's going to be released when it might not be, because, you know, things happen, life gets in the way, or, you know, you're editing software. I don't think it's the editing software that's the problem. I just think there was a problem with something within the video. I don't know what it is. You know, you come across technical issues and things like that, and then you start getting down on yourself because you feel like you're promising something and it hasn't happened, and then you feel really bad. And so I'm going to stop doing stuff like that. But I have been considering looking at an upload schedule, you know, like maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then maybe one over the weekend some weeks, but then some weeks maybe not. I don't know. I just think maybe an upload schedule would help me in some way. I don't know how you guys would feel about that. Would you prefer if I had an upload schedule, or would you prefer that I just sort of uploaded as and when? Because I don't pre-record. I think we've talked about this on the channel before as well. I don't pre-record. I sit down and I do a build, and then I edit straight afterwards. You know, I do all the screenshots and I do the intro video, then I do the voiceover, and then I pick the music and stuff like that. So I do it all in one sitting, rather than sort of sitting down and doing like 10 builds and then doing all the editing afterwards. I mean, I know so many people do it and do it well, and that works for them, but I think for me, I just like knowing what I'm doing, what's coming next, and things like that. So I'm having another rant, aren't I? I'm so sorry. But now we finally moved on to the inside of the house, and as you can see, the downstairs pretty much just consists of two very large rooms, which are divided by an archway, which changes. Does that change? I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I'm losing my voice just like I was in my last speed build. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so two very large rooms. I'll get better at this voiceover thing, I promise. I don't know. It's 20 past 10 in the morning, so it's not early or anything like that. I don't know. I'm all over the place. And so this is why we changed the archway. So you can see me here attempting to figure out the floor plan and failing miserably. So we end up just changing it all around, really, because I wanted to have a fireplace in the kitchen. And so we end up putting that just in front of the archway there. I think it's the fireplace from Snowy Escape, which is one of my all-time favourite fireplaces. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And so that just allowed me to have a little bit more room for the kitchen, because obviously it's a family house. So the rooms... I am so sorry. The rooms need to be quite big, because I can imagine if you guys are playing with this, then it needs to be gameplay friendly. So particularly with the downstairs, it's open and it's cozy and it's just really family oriented. And so that was what we were going for with this. And then just to add a little bit of fun, I did these turquoise counters, which kind of link in nicely with the blue curtains there. They don't link in perfectly, but I think I've got this thing about adding blue to houses at the moment. I'm just looking now and I'm thinking, there's been a few houses recently where I've added blue or turquoise, and I don't know whether I'm doing it on purpose or whether I'm doing it, I don't know what I'm doing really, but yeah, it's kind of, sorry, I just slammed my hand on the desk. I'm not doing very well at this today, am I? Let's be honest, I'm not doing very well. So hopefully, if you are still with me, thank you so much for putting up with me, thank you. But yeah, we're just finishing up here. I don't think we do. I was just gonna say, I don't think we changed too much, but we absolutely do. So we end up putting an additional counter just on the left here with the fridge, just because it gives a little bit more counter space, because you know I love cluttering up kitchens, but this one isn't particularly cluttered because, again, catering it more towards gameplay for you guys. And so I think that kind of works, you know, putting in a little bread bin in, and then this is a little seating area that I was talking about earlier, which I think looks really cute, you know, like maybe the child sim that lives here can be sat on the chair in front of the fire. Can children drink hot chocolate in The Sims? I need to start playing more. I don't even know, but I can imagine, like, just can you imagine sitting down with a hot chocolate in front of the fire and like watching your mum and dad cook? Oh, so cute. So yeah, we're just adding some little bits here and there just to make it look a little bit more lived in, a little bit more, you know, just add a bit more personality to it. And then obviously we have to add this. I just love this from the Tiny Living stuff pack, the like kitchen shelves with the like oven mitts hanging down. I think it's so cute. And then adding a little rug from, again, Tiny Living to the front, you know, because mucky feet and all that. And so this is the living space, and it's a very big room. I don't think I realized until I started decorating just how big it was, but it does work. I utilize the space as best I can, and in front of the windows there we end up putting like a bookshelf and a lounge chair, and it just looks really nice and cozy and modern at the same time. I think that's key here. And then I wanted to use the chair there from the Snowy Escape pack, and then I ended up swapping that out for a chair from the Paranormal stuff pack. Basically it's the one that's in the kitchen, because I sort of like panned out at one point and I was like, oh, I can add that chair instead of that one, because there are 3 chairs that I tend to gravitate towards, and one is the one there from Snowy Escape. There's another one that's in front of the fireplace in the kitchen from the Nifty Knitting stuff pack, and then now this armchair that came with the Paranormal stuff pack is, I think it's gone up there as my all-time favourite chair, because it's really nice, and it reminds me of like Maxis match custom content that you would find and that you would download. So I just think it's really well made, it's well designed, the colour swatches are really nice. You know, you can use it in a paranormal house that maybe has a Victorian vibe, but you can also use it in a family home, in a modern setting. It's really versatile. I think that's the point of that I'm trying to make it, is versatile. So again, we're just adding some clutter items to the living room now, and then I'm trying to work out which swatch of this wallpaper, again from the Paranormal stuff pack, I wanted to use, because I mean, look at it, it's absolutely gorgeous, and I knew that I wanted to use that in this house. I just couldn't work out. Again, I just slammed my hand on the table. So this is my first time using this microphone, so I don't know how sensitive it is. I don't know what it's going to pick up. I don't know what it's going to sort of tune out. I have no idea at this point, so I'm kind of going in blind right now. But yes, I knew that I wanted to use the wallpaper from the Paranormal pack because it's absolutely gorgeous, and I love the swatches. I think they're really, really nice. And yeah, I've just realised as well, when I pan down there, like the Scooby-Doo haunted house is literally over the road from this house. And I was trying, when I was taking the screenshots for the end of the video, not to get that in the windows, because obviously I'm trying to be like realistic, but why would you have like a Scooby-Doo haunted house over from a house like this? It's just not, you just wouldn't, would you? But this is actually a really nice area of Willow Creek that I don't build in often enough, but I would love to build. I think it's like there are 4 lots around here, and I would love to build family houses on each lot and then like just have it as its own neighborhood. I think that'd be really nice. So maybe that's something else that we do. I always love having these ideas when I'm doing voiceovers for speed builds, and then I never actually follow through with any of them. I just have these ideas. I'm like, oh, maybe I should do that, and then I never do it. So it might happen, it might not happen, we will see. But yes, we're just finishing up here now, and then we are going to be starting on the upstairs very shortly. But I'm just messing around with some colour swatches and then adding some paintings here and there, again just to make it more lived in, more family friendly, you know, because if a family lives here, there's going to be clutter, there's going to be like bits and bats hanging around. And I was actually gonna put like a toy box downstairs, but instead what I decided to do was just kind of make this. So this is the upstairs now. Again, I didn't record myself doing the bathroom or the hallway just because they're not very interesting rooms to watch someone do, I don't think, especially with mine, because like there's nothing special about them. But then it just adds on to the time for the speed build. So I reckon by the time I finish, this is probably going to be like nearing 20 minutes. So I have to appreciate that you guys might not have the time to sit down and watch a speed build of this length, and that's why I try and do different sort of lengths of speed builds, because apartments are quick and kind of fun and easy, and then obviously house builds, because they require a bit more. You have to build the exterior, then you've got to landscape and decorate, and there's more to it. So I think that's obviously why the house speed builds are longer than the apartment ones. But the point I was trying to make was I just decided to sort of go and make this kids' room really, really fun, because around the rest of the house, I can imagine the family that lives here, probably they're quite house proud, and so they just sort of say to the child, like, okay, you can play with all your stuff, but you got to do it in your room. You know, so that's why we kind of made this really, really fun and really, really colourful. And turquoise and yellow aren't colours that I would normally use in a kid's room, but I think the bed and then the curtains, I think they're from City Living, if I'm not mistaken. Never used that swatch before, but obviously it just kind of matches perfectly with this room, so I thought this is kind of a good opportunity to sort of do that. And then obviously the master bedroom is just on the left there, and there is a garden in the back. You know, if you are returning to the channel, you will know that my gardens really aren't anything to write home about, and every time I say I'm going to work on it, and then every time I get to a back garden, I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. So they end up just being really basic. And this one is no different from any of the rest of them. So I do apologise, but if you come here for a house with an amazing garden, I think you might have come to the wrong place. There are plenty of other simmers that do a much better job on back gardens than I do, because mine are just pretty much non-existent. So as you can see here, this is the master bedroom, and we're using this bed from Snowy Escape because, again, I think it's quite versatile. You know, it works in a family house, and it obviously would work in a Japanese inspired house too. I just think it's a really, really, really nice bed, you know, and it's something that I think we've been missing for a while in The Sims, because I think most of the beds are actually really ugly. You know, I don't know if you guys feel the same, but I think they're kind of ugly. So it was nice to see when that pack came out that we got a really, really nice bed. And then we do a vanity table just in the window area here, which I think looks really nice. And then we just add some clutter items, really. And that is now my chair squeaking. So I'm really not doing a very good job here, am I? This is definitely not one of my best voiceovers. But if you have made it this far, thank you so much. But I am going to leave you in peace now to watch the rest of the speed build just with some music. There are screenshots at the end if you would like to see what the house looks like in game. This house is available to download from the gallery under my origin ID, which is RachelPedd, and tray files are also linked down in the description below. You can download the tray files from SimFileShare. But thank you very much for joining me here today, everyone. You guys take care, and I will see you next time. Bye!